Today, I want to share with you something that really was helpful to me in figuring out who I was and why I always felt different from other people. This might be able to help you with your experience too. All right, I'm going to show you. I'm going to use the board to be able to do it. I've learned in life there are basically three types of people. The first group are what I would call the pessimists. So just use a P for that. The pessimists, okay? And if you just take a look at a pessimist, you think about a pessimist in your life, do they think things are going to get better or worse? Do they kind of predict massive success or disappointment? It's almost always they're predicting worse. And the crazy thing about the pessimists is they're actually kind of proud. They're proud of the fact that they accurately predicted that they were going to get fired, or they accurately predicted that things were going to go bad, or they accurately predicted it was going to rain on the wedding, or they're like, oh, see, I told you the stock was going to go down. I told you, right? So that's one group. People who think things are going to go down, actually. They're negative, they're cynical, pessimistic, downers. The second group are what I like to call the realists. They're not a pessimist, but they're more realistic. They're more pragmatic. This group, the realists, are really, really, really concerned with how they look to others. They never want to be embarrassed. They always want to be 100% prepared. They never want to be humiliated. So they're going to set goals, but they're going to set realistic goals. They're going to set pragmatic goals. They're going to make sure that it's a goal that 100% they could hit. These are the people who are people of their word. If I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm 100%. I never miss, right? So they're not going down, but they're not going very far up, because why? To the realist, being embarrassed is the ultimate disaster, right? Being humiliated, unthinkable. Being unprepared, it's just not possible. So they'll set goals, but they'll set them kind of low. They'll set them like here. So, and when they achieve it, they're very proud. I told you I was going to hit it. So I'm going to sign up. I'm going to recruit one person in the next 12 months. See, I succeeded. I did it. It take them 12 months to do it. Right? So they set a goal, but it's very, very important to them that they never miss a goal. And if they ever do, they'll reduce it down even further to make sure that they're never embarrassed. And then the third group are the visionaries. This is a crazy group. Notice pessimist starts at the same point as realist, starts at the same point as visionary. And visionary people are completely irrational. They're completely unreasonable. They say, here's where I am, but I'm going, how high can I go? Here. Right? And I'm going to do it fast. So they set this crazy, outrageous goal. Now, to the visionaries, they're okay with people judging them. They're okay with potentially being embarrassed. They're okay with telling the world what they're going to do and figuring it out later. They're okay. They're willing to start messy. They're willing to start if they're not completely prepared. And as a result of that, they stretch for this big, big goal. And that's a little bit off, and it's bugging me. They stretch for this big, big goal. And in the stretch for it, they don't, guess how many times did they hit their goal? Not very often. They miss most of the time, but they'll hit here. They didn't reach their goal. They told everybody they were going to do it and they didn't hit it. They told everybody they were going to get to that rank and they didn't quite hit it. But now I want to ask you a simple question. on pure results, which would you rather have? The pessimist results down here, the realist results right here, or the visionary results right up here? Easy answer, right? Visionary, of course, of course. Oh, it's so sexy to be a visionary. But here's the problem. 99% of people are pessimists and realists. That leaves 1% that are visionary. And you might say, you know what? Nope, I want to be a visionary. I'm going to be a visionary. Well, guess what the pessimists and realists are going to do if you decide to be a visionary? They're going to constantly point at this thing that you missed. You set this goal, and they're going to be saying, ha, you didn't hit your goal. And you might think that you're strong, but if you're in a group of 100 people, even inside your company, it's one visionary out of every 100 if you're lucky. So if you're the one, that means 99 people inside your company are going to be calling you crazy. They're going to be calling you nuts. So I got to tell you a quick story that happened to me as a result of this, right? Early on in my career, I said, you know what? I'm going to be a visionary. I'm going to set these big goals, these big dreams. I'm going to go after it. I'm going to make it happen. And I've had a little bit of momentum going on in my organization. And one day we had this little office where we did meetings. And one day I came into the office and there was a guy there. I'm in my 20s. He's in his 50s. He'd been a corporate executive for most of his life. And he said, Eric, can I talk to you for a second? I'm like, sure. He said, no, privately. I'm like, okay. So we went into a room and he said, have a seat. Now, he says, Eric, it's difficult for me to say. I said, no problem. Just spit it out. He said, all of your big talk and all of your big dreams and all of your big goals, I just want you to know that everybody on the team is laughing at you behind your back. I said, really? He said, yeah. Everybody applies Eric math to every big goal that you have, which means we usually cut it in half and we cut it in half again. If we're going to, you say we're going to bring 1,000 people to the convention, then they say, well, it's about 250 because Eric never, ever hits his goals. He said, son, you've become something of a joke. You're not a person of your word. You lack integrity. You lack character. Your word means nothing. And he said, pretty tough words, right? And he said, it's totally unnecessary because all you have to do, you hit this all the time. All you've got to do is go set your goals there. And now people can count on you. They can trust you. They can believe in you. And I sat there in this room and kind of like my future flashed before my eyes. And it was just like, because it would be nice to be accepted by everybody. Just come here. But from my experience, guess what? I kind of what went through my head. If I stretch for here, I'm likely to hit here. And then if I reset my goals and I stretch for there, I'm likely to hit here. And if I stay there long enough, I keep adjusting, I'm going to find myself over here as a realist. And if I stay there long enough, I'm going to go over here and become pessimistic about my future in network marketing. Because I don't want to go here, I have to keep stretching my vision. And I said, Dennis, thank you. Thank you for sharing that with me. I appreciate it. I know it probably wasn't a comfortable conversation. And you're right. My goals are not proper. From now on, I promise you to think much bigger than I ever have before. Because if I stretch that goal way up past where you can even see it, I'm likely to go even higher than I've been in the past. I just need to expand my vision. And it sounds sexy. I will tell you, it sounds sexy to be a visionary, but it's hard. Because not everybody's going to understand you. People are going to judge you. Your family's going to give you a hard time. Your friends are going to give you a hard time. Even your team might give you a hard time. But it's worth doing. Think about every great leader that you've ever known in business or in on the world stage? Are they over here or are they here? They're here. But you've got to be strong enough to withstand all of the peer pressure from this 99% that are going to be constantly focusing on what you didn't do. Be stronger than that. All right. So my thought for you today is just think about which one are you prepared to be, pessimist, realist, or visionary? And if you go on visionary, are you willing to withstand the judgment from others? That's the price to greatness. Okay? So soak that in, make your decision, and I'll see you tomorrow.